Hi, my name is Laura, and you're listening to the Holiday Spending webinar. A recent survey indicates that the average American family plans to spend $800 the next holiday season, and a lot of these families are under really tight finances. Holidays can be stressful. You've got a lot of things pulling at you and your resources. You've got work events, you've got family events and family get-togethers, you've got social activities, and your wallet is also tugging at you. You've got financial stress. All of these things added up together can lead to a holiday hangover. Well, during the holidays, you have temptations, especially by the retailers. I think when you go into a store, it's an all-out assault on your senses. Not only do you have holiday music being piped through the stores, there are decorations everywhere you look, and there's holiday lights twinkling. And in some stores, there's even holiday smells. And all of these things are designed to take us out of our norm, to encourage us to spend. Now, I know you get tempted to buy things during the holidays, sometimes just to even fit in with everybody else. I mean, you want to belong with all the other shoppers carrying packages, so why not buy something? Some people think that they can create a loving experience by buying gifts for each other. But I encourage you, don't get caught up into thinking how much you spend in the holidays really measures who you are as a person. Sometimes during the holidays, we convince ourselves it's okay to use our credit cards a little more freely, just this once. But you know what's going to happen? In January, you are going to be horrified when you see those credit card statements. Sometimes we spend so much in the holidays, it'll take us 6 months, a year, or even 2 years to pay off those credit cards. I want to show you just how expensive it can be to charge everything on your credit cards. My example here is an $800 balance on a credit card with a 20% finance charge on that credit card. Did you know that if you pay only minimum payment on your credit card, which might be 2% of the balance, it's going to take you 9.5 years to pay off that credit card. And during that 9.5 years, you are going to pay $741 in finance charges. It's just so expensive to charge everything on your credit cards and then only make minimum payments. During the holidays, I think it's really important for us to think about traditions and memories. Think back to the last holiday season. Do you really remember gifts that were given to you during that time? Do you think your children remember individual gifts that were given to them? Probably not. So before deciding what to buy, I encourage you to consider your family's traditions and holiday memories. And if you don't have extra cash in your pocket and you haven't saved for the holiday expenses coming up, slow down before hitting the mall or the internet. Okay, so we know the holidays are going to be coming and you're probably not prepared for it. So that means you're probably going to spend some money during the holidays. Let's talk about some tips to help protect your finances. I have 10 tips for you. Starting with number 1, make a spending plan. Be realistic. Get a piece of paper out and list all of the type of expenses that you're going to have and how much overall you can spend. Include everything on this, including gifts, the food, extra food you're going to have to buy, entertainment that you have to pay for, even clothing for special events. What about travel? Are you traveling to see family? Even think about little things like greeting cards and postage. Write down everything. If you don't think about it now, your spending can grow and grow. And in January, you're going to be horrified. Tip number 2, know your limits. Be very specific when you write things down. Write down who you're going to buy for. what and how much you can spend individually. You are not a victim in this. You can control your spending. And you know what? It is okay to not buy for everyone if you're cash strapped this year. The key is to prioritizing. It's okay to tell your family and friends that you're not going to be exchanging gifts this year due to limited resources. Open communication is the key here. And if you're going to use credit cards, set a goal now to not spend more than what you can pay off in 3 or 4 months. Tip number 3, track your spending while it's actually happening. If you've made a plan, then track the actual expenditures. Carry a little notebook with you and write everything down. Everything includes gifts, the party outfits, decorations, greeting cards, shipping and posting. It all adds up. Tip number 4, use a list when you're shopping. This is going to help you to avoid impulse buying by carrying that list and then sticking to it. Just like you carry a list to the grocery store, you should be carrying your list during your holiday shopping. And when you're done, stop browsing. Get out of the store and go home. Tip number 5, shop early. The best window of time for you to shop is from October 1 through December 1. Even plan to shop during the summer. I've done that before, and it helps to reduce the big amount of spending that you're going to do in a short amount of time by spreading it out. Start early. As you get closer and closer to the holidays, can you take an afternoon off work? I encourage you, don't wait until last minute, because that's going to lead to desperate purchases, and desperate purchases leads to overspending. Tip number 6, be an educated consumer. What I mean by that is comparison shop. Look on the internet, look through catalogs, look at advertisements, even look in stores. And we've decided what you're going to buy and where. Call the store to check for the merchandise availability. Yeah, you need to watch your gas expenses even. And if you are buying over the internet, one thing that you can do to help reduce cost is to ship the gift directly to the recipient. That's going to help you to avoid double postage costs. And if you are buying through the internet, make sure that you are only purchasing on safe sites, safe and secure sites. What I mean by that is one that the information, the personal information, including your credit card, is encrypted as it goes over the internet. There's 2 ways to know that. One is the HTTP address will change to HTTPS on a secure site. The other way to know is up by the URL address, there should be a yellow lock. And lastly, never email your personal information or credit card numbers when you're doing shopping with stores and communicating with stores. Email is not a safe way to pass personal information. Tip number 7 is load up your wallet with cash. Have cash in your wallet or use a debit card. If you're able to, leave your credit card at home. Of course, if you're buying over the internet, that is when you definitely should be using a credit card. And if you are using a credit card, your plan A should be to only spend the amount that you can afford to pay off when your statement arrives. Another way to do that is deduct the cost directly from your checking account at time of purchase. That way you will have the money in your account when the statement arrives. Plan B, plan to spend no more than what you can pay off in full in 3 or 4 months. Be careful, too, when using your credit card, because according to the Consumer Credit Counseling Services, people spend 33% more when they're using a credit card. Now, why is that? It's because we don't have emotional ties to that piece of plastic, whereas we do have emotional ties to the cash. Tip number 8, use credit wisely. If you're going to be using a credit card, shop with no more than 2 credit cards. The more cards you use, the harder it is to track the total expenditures. Also, if you're giving your credit card to a store clerk, make sure you receive your credit card back instead of someone else's after the purchase. Try to make sure that you can see your card at all times. Make sure you keep your receipts too, so you can compare the transactions on your credit card statement to the actual receipts. Make sure you're not being charged more than you should be. Tip number 9, beware of sales pitches. The store clerk's job is encouraging you to buy. Watch out for those buy now and pay later offers. Nothing is free. It's so easy to forget those deadlines. And that encourages you to spend more than what you really have. Watch out for those department store card offers too, ones that give you a one-time discount. Those department store credit cards tend to have higher interest rates. And 2, you'll probably be offered the skip a payment offers with your current credit cards. Remember, nothing is free. If you do skip a payment, your interest continues to accrue, and in the end, it's going to cost you more. And tip number 10 is homemade gifts. It is an option for you to consider. One of my friends a couple of years ago was really cash strapped, and she said to me, I'm not going to be giving gifts out to friends this year. Rather, I'm going to make something for my friends. And you know what she did? She got together with her sister and she made a bunch of holiday goodies, cookies and salty treats to eat, and she wrapped them up in a nice decorative package and gave them out to all of her friends. And it meant so much to me because I knew that her personal time was used and she was thinking about me as she was wrapping those items. So that's an option for you. Look on the internet to see if you can get ideas for homemade gifts for others. Bottom line, if you're cash strapped, this is the year for you to downsize your spending, but not your holiday joy. Make this holiday season big on meaning with your family and your friends, traditions, and make new memories. So even if you're not prepared for this holiday season, it's not too late for you to start thinking and preparing for next holiday season. There's a whole bunch of ways you can do that. First thing is, open a holiday savings account. You can do that today. You can open a money market account at the credit union, maybe a high-yield savings account with the credit union. That doesn't require any minimum deposit to open. Or you can even open a holiday savings account. That also has a 0 deposit to open. And then you should think about how much you want to have in that account next holiday season and start saving towards it. Well, how do you do that? Take the total amount that you want to have saved. Let's say $800 is what you want to have saved by the next holiday season. And let's say there's 11 months before you need that money. So you can determine how much you need to save every month in order to have that $800. $800 divided by 11 is $73 a month. Or you can even break that amount down weekly. Let's say, for example, you have 43 weeks before you need this money. You could take $800, divide it by 43, and that tells you need to start saving $19 a week now in order to have that money by the time you start your shopping. I encourage you too to set up an automatic transfer from your checking account into your special savings account for the holiday spending. Or set up a payroll deduction right from your payroll into this special account. Talk to your human resources department to learn how to do that. I think it's really important for you to plan to save. Start a budget. A budget is nothing more than a well thought out spending and savings plan. I encourage you to listen to our webinar entitled Building a Better Budget that will teach you how to set up a budget. And lastly, make sure you have the right credit card that you're using. Consider the card that you have now and know what a good credit card is. I encourage you to look in our educational articles page of our website and look at the what to look for in a credit card article. That will help you to know what a good credit card is, because you don't want to get a credit card that has hidden fees and hidden costs. And one more piece of information for you about your finances is a financial fitness program that's available to you through the Balance Financial Fitness Program. This is a free and confidential service for our members and their dependents. This service can help you learn how to budget and manage your debt. If you're going through a crisis with your housing right now, they've got counselors specially trained to help you get through this crisis. Or if you're looking to buy a home in the next year or two, counselors can help you with that. They can help you in reviewing your credit report, or if you're the victim of identity theft, they've got special hand holders that can help you get through this crisis. You've got the Balanced Financial Fitness Program phone number. I encourage you to give them a call. We've come to the end of our webinar. Do you have any questions? If you do, I encourage you to email your questions to serviceplus@ibmsecu.org or give us a phone call. We would be happy to answer any of your questions. One final thought. It's easy to get carried away by the generous spirit of this holiday season. Stay true to your personal budget. Give within your means and put traditions, memories, family, and friends as your priority. Start out a new year on a strong financial path. Thank you.